Hello, everybody. Wait, what? What? What is this? Summer mode? No, we're not doing summer mode. Hey, everybody. How are you doing? I'm in a tanning saloon, apparently, for some reason. What? No. Hey, Marco. Hey, Bohab James. Welcome to the stream. It's been a while. Have you been here before? I think so, because I kind of remember names. I'm like the old teacher who always remembers. Yo, this is completely off. There is no way this can be this off. You know why this is happening? I'm gonna tell you why. I have two cameras of the same origin here. Same brand, same everything. Just one is stolen from my wife. Okay. There you go. This is how it should be. Why did he do the thing he did? Now this dude first time here. Well, welcome Bohab. Sorry, I was saying Bobhab. You won't believe it. That like this morning I was talking to a friend of mine whose name's Bob. You know. And it's rolling now. Forgive me if I'm gonna say Bob anytime soon. It's Bohab James. But this is James, so why am I saying Bohab? Because it comes first. Welcome to the stream. Welcome everybody. This is Modular Mondays. No pressure. We're just enjoying our time. I got so many messages from our last Kicks stream plus the Kick video that came out. Unbelievable. Like I am flattered. I am 1,000,000 times % flattered that people are asking me about more percussion, more sounds, more techno stuff. I don't do techno per se in itself, but I am absolutely in awe with all the messages. So I was like, the pressure that I got into before starting this stream, you won't believe how stressed I am. Because I got mainly two topics that came in. One is just like one friend of mine, one just got that said, you know what you should do? Braams on Modular. And I find this, even if it's just one guy who said that, like unbelievably interesting. Will I be able to do Braams sound on VCV? This is good. You gotta admit, this is good. Remember, I am completely 100% taking my scoring expertise, composer expertise, playing keyboards, sample libraries, DAWs into Modular, okay? So I am as new as everybody here can be. Most of the people here are actually more expert than I am. I just know what I want to hear, and I just know what should come out of this, okay? So this is the number one thing that I was told. In the meantime, I'm like checking that everything is fine. Hold on. Everything should be pretty much there. When we start the stream, James, this is what it is. Marco's usually here. He's taking the bridge, but I have a variable amount of crew members. There's going to be Ethan, obviously, which is our bot, which is taking care of routine maintenance. While we're sleeping in cryo sleep, Ethan is the one guy running the ship. Just so you know, if you wake up and you're throwing up, but you're still alive, it's because Ethan has been running the ship 3 million years into space, okay? Maybe not 3 million years, but about, whatever, like 74 years, Ethan's been doing his routine stuff. But he's not evil. That's a very important thing. And he will not turn evil, mid-time into the movie. That's also very important. So we got so many things. Number one, I want to, first, welcome everybody. This is Modular Mondays. We take modular synthesis and we do cues for video games that do not exist yet. I hope some game developers come to me and say, dude, I need music. And I will be happy to give what I've done so far to them for the video game in exchange for the game itself, obviously, that I want to play. But also, starting today, we have memberships on YouTube, you know? So you can join memberships on YouTube if you don't want to join my Patreon. And memberships are not what Patreon is. So Patreon is really the full-fledged educational. Marco knows already, so he's just gonna be like, I'm gonna fall asleep. But this is gonna be about learning and doing weekly things, and I'm always on Discord. It's a one-on-one thing, and there's different tiers. Memberships on YouTube are just to support the channel, and you get small perks if you just want to do the support for the studio, and then you get behind the scenes videos and dedicated question and answers and other things if you do the backstage pass. They're not expensive. I value your money. I don't want to steal anything from you. They're not expensive, but we do have memberships, and we do have badges for memberships, which I've done this morning. They're unbelievably cool. I will not even spoil what the membership badges are because I took my time to dedicate myself to the craft of graphic design, which I am excelling at latest years. In other news, we got unopened a Korg XQ64. You know, this thing. So the SQ64, if for those of you who don't believe it, this is it. It's coming from my beloved family members, bosses, but not that much bosses, at Korg. Okay, so the artist relationships at Korg. Thank you very much for sending me and just entrusting me with all this stuff. Korg, as you know, has always been behind what we do. They're here to support us with what they actually release, which obviously comes handy to them because then we know what Korg makes. But I've been playing Korg since I was this tall. This, probably. This, you know? And I was talking to my dad and looking at synthesizers that were way more expensive than my dad would have ever wanted me to pay because I was just 13, okay, something like that. So we got a 64. I haven't opened it yet. I will open it live on a behind the scenes video that you can watch if you are part of the members of YouTube. Remember, if you are a member of the what? Screensavers. What is this? Rookie time? Why do I have a screensaver like a black screen? Computer. Remove. Screensavers. Yes, Alberto. I will remove the screensaver for you in 3, 2, 1. Screensaver successfully removed. So, I run my own spends. I am not that rich to have an AI run things, okay? So I do my own AI voices. That's how it is. That's how it works. We're not going to do anything else. So if you're a YouTube member in my channel, you will see Marco is laughing out. How is it, Marco? How was it today in beautiful Switzerland? Was it hot? Here it was perfect temperature, like absolutely perfect. I went for a run and I didn't put any sun cream on, protection screen. And I mean, the camera is doing me justice, but I am kind of like red. So I don't know if this is looking like that bad, but it is. So anyway, if you're a member of YouTube or my Patreon, you will watch and enjoy the 64 opening. Korg XQ64. This is the most unbelievable sequencer that does CV, in my opinion. But with firmware 2.0, Korg has completely redesigned. You will not believe, if you don't know what firmware 2.0 does on this thing, I am relearning the 64. Can you believe that? Unbelievable. Bohab says, all right, so Marcus says, same here, was working in the morning and sleeping in the afternoon. All right, you remember what I said, right? When I wake up in the afternoon after having slept, if it ever happens, I am like in the middle of a sci-fi movie, waking up from like altered carbon, you know, like waking up from cryostasis. Like, what is this? I hate that, but when you need to sleep, you need to sleep. So James says, I'm gonna say Bohab because we have a James in Patreon, and so if he's here, if he happens to, he's on holiday right now, so in beautiful Greece. So Bohab says, I was thinking you haven't really touched on how VCV does polyphony, which in my mind sets it apart for other software. All right, unbelievable. So that's true. We have not touched on polyphony. Have I in the previous? No, I haven't. Have I done? Oh no, okay. I'm working on a voltage modular masterclass. I'm like kind of like 30% through, and I just covered that, and I was making mistakes on it. Marco says, I always get up between 3 and 4 in the morning, so I need an afternoon nap every now and then. Absolutely. Like, it's like having breakfast at 6 a.m. There's no way you're not going to eat in, midday. Doesn't matter what people say. So you're right. I have not touched on polyphony, which is in your mind what sets it apart with other software. I didn't know that VCV was like amazing on polyphony. Okay. And it's true, I can kind of relate to the fact that I deal with monophonic sounds most of the time. This is true. And what I was about to say about drums as well, designing sort of like different kicks and snares and hi-hats, will also fall into monophonic. All right. So this one we don't open, but we will open as a behind-the-scenes video. I'm just going to throw it. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. I'm going to respect the thing. And also another opening of a box that we're going to do. Can you see that from there? No, you cannot. I'm going to do it here. We're going to open an Op6 Mark II. I do this now. Can you hear the noise? So this is a beautiful Op6. It's going to fall off my hands. It's kind of heavy. And this is going to be another unbox. I hate unboxing videos, but I will do unboxing videos. So I'm going to leave it here, actually. So Bohab said, I started on Voltage Modular before I got really sucked into VCV Rack 2. So the people at Sherry Audio reached out to us when I was doing the first episodes of Voltage Modular, and so did Weasel. I cannot even, can I name the names? Like all the major developers in Voltage Modular have completely agreed and asked Sherry Audio to say, like, give Modular Mondays everything they need. So we're covered because they said, we like the approach. We're here for that. We're all about education. So Weevil and Arware, like everybody has been so CRD or CRB, I forgot. DRB, there's like, I was overwhelmed with how many developers I was suggested to call, because people that were using that were like, you got to get in touch with these developers. They do the most amazing things. I had YouTube comments as well on that. And they said, and I got in touch with them, and they were like, absolutely. Everything you want, just ask Sherry Audio. And they wrote Sherry Audio and they said, don't worry. If he asks for stuff, if Modular Monday is needed, go. So I'm doing a specific masterclass on Voltage Modular. You probably used it already, so there's gonna be things you know already, but it's aimed at giving people a very good understanding of how it works. And I'm designing patches in the next weeks. So I'm thinking in September it will come out on my Patreon and on groove3.com. Groove3 is a company I've been working with. It's another family of mine. And so they publish my own masterclasses there, but I am very, very, very kindly allowed to also post them on my Patreon. That is the only legal allowance that I have, and I am super thankful because in theory they would own the masterclass, but they said it's okay if you want to use it for your own students because you want to educate people. And I just want to spend a second to say this. There are companies out there, people, and I'm gonna name names today because they deserve this. Adam Audio, Novation, Focusrite, Sequential, Oberheim, Korg. I'm gonna forget people. Sherry Audio, VCV Rack. I haven't heard from them, honestly. I would love to get support to be able to get VCV Rack Pro because it's kind of like not inexpensive for the stream, so I'm still on free. I understand you would love to see VCV Rack Pro. I hope they do. Bethaco, nano modules. Like there's I already said Korg. I already said, I'm looking around. because I'm sure there's people that I'm forgetting, and this is gonna be horrible. There's so many companies that really value education. They see that, they checked on what I do, and they said, we can do that. So they're supporting us to be here. Isn't that amazing? So yes, absolutely yes. So do we want to, okay, Bohab, are you with me? Can you guide me through polyphony? We'll do polyphony and we'll do Braams, okay? We're going to try and do Braams on VCV. I'm going to take my composer attitude, sort of, and I'm going to do a sort of like a brassy patch that I can play, and we're going to delve into it, and we'll do polyphony with kind of a synth, okay? And then we have kind of a little bit of drums and things like that. Bohab says, I like to use it to make a synth voice and use VCV to make full generative patches. Well, all right, you got to teach me how to do that. So first and foremost, guide me first through polyphony. We're going to do this. Hold on. See this? My wife's camera right here. Hold on. I have to go around the Alberto. Okay, here. Hold on. It's completely safe. All right. Are you ready? Boom. No? What? This is actually not what is going on here. Yo. Wait. What? No. Wait. This is just my floor. No. Ready? Why isn't it work? Much more like it. So this is me. What? Okay, hold on. Maybe I have to close this. All right, almost. Ready? Why isn't it working the way I wanted it to work? Oh, maybe I know. Hold on. That's not true. I don't know. I'm completely lying. I have no idea what is going on. Why isn't it showing my hand? Why is this so static? See what I have here? Like I have a whole array of configurations and things. Ready? Hold on. It should work though. Honestly. It should. Aha! No? Yes? Yes! Okay. I can live with that. Can you? Can we? Yes. Now, here's what we're going to do. Let me do just this reset. Right. Okay. And this. Awesome. So Bohab says you can start from the left click menu in the MIDI module. There you can select how many voices you want up to 16. Perfect. So you remember this patch? Obviously you can't because you don't see this. So you remember this patch. Let me just, nothing's playing. Why isn't it? Oh, because I have these in solo. Okay. So I see you can only see all the left channel. This is there. Here, L16. Do you remember this patch from last week? You probably do. So I already saved this thing, and we are going to kind of reset, not really reset, but just going like make Braams out of it. This is the Panel Connolly lockdown. Okay, so what we have here is we've got some, this one does not need to be here. We now have this, we have drums at the bottom, we have a drone right up here. I'm moving it so you can see that. We have kind of all the clock modules plus the effect. This should be this part right here, clock and some effects. And then we have this simple low pass that is kind of playing droning notes. And then we have another drone that is this section here. So then there's a console. This console is sending things to tube. That's the mix bus we discussed last week. Then we got chow tape compression, beautiful. Stereo, so 2 modules. Then we're going to mix, and I'm not really mixing anything, and I understand that. Don't be too harsh on me. I know I'm not mixing anything. It's just like I like to have 2 mixes just because. And these we're going here. There's a nice modular notes here. We're going to another mix, and then these ones going to the malt, and then the malt is going to the visualizer, and ultimately it's going to the audio out. That's what we're hearing, right? That's why it's duplicating itself. I've put it here at the bottom. Okay, so the effects we have right down here are reverb. There's a 4ms or ms, whatever, topographic delay that I haven't used that I would like to use on hi-hats. Then we have our clock, beautiful. That's our main clock. You know what, we're gonna put it in green just because. And we should kind of remake some of the stuff. So you know what I'm gonna do? I gotta be honest with you, I'm kind of like afraid to delete stuff because this was so good for us that it could kind of work. So let's keep the drums here and let's put it just down. Let's just mute stuff. Right. Right, let's mute everything, I think. Just because. Let me raise this because I like to be invested in audio. Right. Why is it this so low for me? I want more gain. Is it high enough? Could be higher. Let's go here. I don't want to clip your audio. So okay. So we have this. I literally have issues deleting these devices because I'm like, I think these are instruments of mine, sort of. And so I get kind of scared to, can I do this? No. Oh no. Because it's sitting right there. Okay. So you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm actually gonna move these down here. That's the second instrument. We're gonna move it here. Oh, not the clock. Clock, please stay here. Okay, so there's people having pre-effects somehow. No. Okay, so this is all off. Good. And this effect is being fed. Why is this playing though if it doesn't have any pre-fader movement? It's probably because these are going to the reverb. Lower this. Okay. Well, that though should not happen, right? Oh, because there's one effect doing that. Okay. Okay. Is it going up? No. Aux level 1. Okay. So we reset. All can always mix more later. Yeah, exactly. I took a second. I didn't understand what you meant. Absolutely. Like, there's so much space that I believe, like, this is like tracks innuendo for me or like in a sequencer. Why, lose them? So, okay. So let's try and do a Braams sound, okay? What is a Braams sound? You heard it probably through composers like Hans Zimmer, stuff that was done in Nolan movies. You gotta know what the Braams sound is. Do you know what a Braams sound is? It's like a brassy, low, aggressive, opening, sustaining, hybrid synth acoustic sound that is very, the name itself, Braams, it's because it's like Braam. I did it. Did I do it right? Did I give you the right impression? Did you get the idea of the sound? Because I don't see why we shouldn't use our mouths to do sounds since they were designed to do that. It's like, that. So, like the Dune soundtracks, they do have it, of course. I think it was probably first heard. I really don't know my history of music on some stuff. Probably, I think The Dark Knight Rises probably has some of the most iconic. And I think, I am pretty sure, however, that even if Hans Zimmer hasn't done Tenet, I'm thinking there is some, like right now, there's no way of not having Braams sounds in sort of like epic cinematic soundtracks. I get these kind of requests. Either people say like, but no Braams, or they say, you know what, you can open like with that Braams sound. Hear how good this was. This was good. I should sample myself. So what, honest, I have never done a Braams sound in VCV. So I have mine set into Nuendo. I have different patches. Some of them use Contact, a hybrid of them, but I have kind of a rough understanding of it. So how about we build one? I know for sure we need MIDI input. So I'm going to start monophonic. Okay, Bohab says, I know what you're talking about now. That's because I probably did the right sound of it. It's usually very distorted. Not very distorted. It can be, the powerful soundtrack, says Marco, that really make your body vibrate. This is exactly why Hans Zimmer designed that. And I think there's documentaries or there's special content about why he did that, how he did that. He probably used low tubas, trombones. There has to be, I don't think there's saxophones involved, but I'm thinking there's definitely like a brass section with some very heavy, like low brass overdubs, and there's distortion or stuff like that. It's got to be a hybrid, and there's definitely synthesizers in, okay? So to me, the good start of that is sawtooths, okay? If I were to do it here where I know I don't have samples, sawtooths. So if we say sawtooths, we already have so many. Let's go. So here's what we're gonna do. I was browsing compressors, so we really don't, but we might need a compressor afterward to just blend things in. Who makes good saws? There's one by Squeaker Labs that I'm new here, so this is what I found to be nice. There's Macro Oscillator, that does really good saws. Actually, the first one it starts with is saws. There's part of physical modeling that we want to do, so there's going to be different things we want to try. And it's going to be huge, and it's going to have a percussive component of it, okay? So if I design my own Braams sound, this is going to be for records we make with Modular Monday. So I think it's good. And we can make something polyphonic as well. Absolutely. So we need a MIDI device thing for sure, like a MIDI plus CC here. And I'm going to use my base station, and we're going to kind of route things here. So we're going to dial in more than one sawtooth. So I think we need a mixer for sure. Now we can mix and match. Look at how many mixers I have. What do we want to use? Mix 4? VCA mix? Do we got mix 4? I have never used the Bog Audio. You've been telling me this is really good. Let's do mix 4, okay? So mix 4 has 4 channels. It's called mix 4. So we can go output of, wow, saws is stereo. We're already breaking the law. This thing is stereo. So let's do saws right here. And let's do the macro 3. There's something else that was about oscillators. Man, there's so many. What are we gonna use? I accept any type of suggestion. I know we're gonna use macro oscillator 2 ONA. Can I please use ONA, which is a module I want to buy? Nano modules ONA is probably going to serve us good. So let's try this saw here. Okay? So now we have these 3 modules. They're doing nothing here. They don't have envelopes. We don't have filters. But we're mixing them together. And the output of this we use a filter for. Okay? Now, I got to be honest with you. My idea of going filter first would be to use Man, I'm like F35. But I will not dislike using a Steiner Parker, probably, as well. But let's go this route first. So we take the inputs of the mixer, and we pan these hard left and hard right because saws is that way. I'm going to mute the other two, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take, we obviously don't have empty channels. Let me take, who's channel 7? Can we sacrifice this? No, obviously. So you know what we're gonna do? We have 3 here that is empty. Oh, we have 6 that is empty. So we're gonna use 6 for the Braams. No, we're gonna use 3. 3 is Braams for me, really. So we're gonna do this, okay? So now what we're missing is we miss envelopes for the amplifier, like for VCAs, and we miss envelopes for the filter as well. So let's take, do we take a normal one or do we take nano alt or quad VCA? Let's take quad VCA. I'm going out on a limb here. So we go input, we go, this is the CV, okay, 3, and we take the 2 and we go here, and we take this input and we go here. So right now we have our saws, macro oscillator, and ONA that are going into the mixer. Our mixer dictates the balance that we send into the filter, and then we go out to the VCA, but we're missing envelopes, right? So I'll tell you, like, I'm gonna use this because I feel a little bit more comfortable doing that. Isn't it beautiful designing modular sounds? Even if there's no sound, like, you won't believe. I got sucked into modular from a composer standpoint like there's no tomorrow. So this is what we're gonna do. Then we do duplicate because I want another one that we're gonna use for our this is filter, and this is gonna be VCA. So we take gate and we send our gate to this one and to this other one. Then we take the envelope itself and we send it to frequency, and then we take the envelope and we send it to these 2, as far as I know, right? And we probably have to say response. Is it gonna work? I've never used quad VCA, so I don't know. Let's make a sound that has a very fast attack and that it doesn't sustain and just has a little bit of a release. Okay, so is this playing? Obviously not. Let me see. So now we need pitch somehow. Is this going up? It isn't. Okay, let's open this. That's our output. Okay, I'm opening it anyway. Maybe we have solos. Right, we can't have these because our number 3 is muted. Okay, so is it playing? Okay, so we see it respond. That's a good thing. But I don't see these going up. Level, let me double check where everything is. It should be open. Why isn't these open? Our main level is 0.4. Okay. Okay, I don't hear it playing. Let me go VOCT anyway, so we know this is the dude that should be working. There's gonna be a reason. There's always a reason. So number 3 is not soloed. Do we need it solo? No. We pan it center. Our left inputs are here. The outputs are here. It should be playing. If we raise this, we do have sound. So let's double check what I've done that is wrong. Our mix level is good. We don't have dim. The filter is fine. The envelope, oh, maybe this guy is wrong, but we're not using envelopes here triggering, so that should be fine. This goes up. Okay, so we diagnose this. It do be fun. It is, absolutely. So let me take the output of this guy and go here. We hear it. So this is working. Oh, I see what I've done. I am completely 100% stupid. Okay, look at what I've done. Look at my mistake, okay? I've seen level, and I have plugged the outputs of all of my oscillators into level. It is not level. It is actually in. It says input. So let me repatch everything. Let me bring the envelopes, the VCA down, and let me patch these guys in here. Now we have, so the level is CV, okay? So we're up here. Right? It works. So the octave's completely way too loud for this, but we know it works. So what if I close the filter here? Sounds beautiful. I love saws. And we've got no reverb so far. So this is the two of them. Okay, so this is one oscillator. Let's mute saws. Let's get our V octave from our V octave. And let's try Ona. Because I've already made another mistake, for sure. Why isn't it tracking? It should be tracking. Oh, wait, because this is not Ona. Ona's this one. You're not going into the right thing on mix 4, I think. Absolutely. Yes, Bohab. That's exactly what was going on. I was into level. That's the CV for changing level. So completely 100% mistake. But if you keep calm, we solve this, right? This is a perfect example of user error, never having used mix 4. I should have read it just right there. It says in, very simple. So how about macro oscillator? We need to say V oct here. Man, this guy has tons of balls. Right? So we have our oscillators, we have our filter that I really like. We are not messing with drive yet, but what we're doing is we don't have envelopes because things are just sustaining, right? You hear where I'm going with this one, right? So now let's unmute all of them. And I will use some release. Right? So right now what I'm doing is I'm just opening the VCA while on the amp, and nothing is really doing a lot of vibe. So we could just take this, dial the envelopes and distort them, and I guarantee you that we will be kind of like, right there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my mod wheel in a second and do more stuff, but I wanna play with macro oscillator. Just hear a little bit of what it kind of does. So this is the fine, obviously, timbre, or timbre, actually. I like timbre here. Bohab says it can be hard with new modules. Absolutely. Actually, if I do this, you can actually see me. Oh, this camera doesn't want to work today. All right, doesn't matter. You see me play here. It's my little hand. Doesn't matter. I'd rather have you see modules. So. So we're not sending anything to FM. I'm probably gonna start trying that. Let me see what models does it have. Okay, this ooh can be really good. You hear what it does? How it modulates? It's probably not the modulation. This is good. Okay, so we could use ooh. Let's see this. This is just O now. Let me try and do maybe this other waveform. I think this one's gonna be better for that. Now, let me try this guy. Okay, we drop it octave. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's try the detune soul level. There's classic and there's clean 1, clean 2. I like this though. Okay, I like this very much. Let's try now resonate. Actually, let me change the filter type. Let me try silent key. Oh, this is silent key. Okay, the low pass 12. Let me try my usual diode. Dude, why is this diode thing always my own thing? Now, you just need to play one note with Braams like this, for sure, okay? So if I were to send these into reverb right now, and we do this, hear how much it sustains this guy? Of all these we're getting. There's just saws, and right. So let's try ooh. I'm doing with my mouth. So this is gonna be hard to kind of detune. Let me see where we're here. Okay. Now, let me do some modulation wheel on the frequency to hear how it moves. Speaking to me a lot. Let me take the mod wheel out. We can do I'm thinking a lot about what I'm missing here. We could mess with frequency modulation, you know, timbre, whatever, other things, but let's just recap what the sound is all about. I'm gonna start with Ona. This is what it does. We could even sync it. Let's try this. This is then ooh with macro os 1. See, it adds this kind of like high level pitchy thing. and low. And then there's saws. It just completely kills it. How nice this is. Right? So let's put some drums in, people. This is where we are. There were some accents I could do. Let's try and change some drums. We're not even in Braams any longer. We're completely forgetting about what I was doing, which is the good thing. Let's try the boomstick here. Now we're talking. This one. Imagine the scene in the game. This is like opening the things, right? So I'm like letting go. And you open the kicks as well. So like I can do it mouse and keyboard, okay? So it's a little bit too fast. So the attack plays a lot of role here. Let's try and just make attack. We're not still playing with the filter. We're just doing what I did was this. I played a higher C, and when I noticed that the attack phase was dropping into decay, I went lower C. Okay, I'm gonna do it as well. It's a simple thing. It just changes your patch. Let's try that. Right? Simple. It's the same patch. I'm just playing that. So. And if you want to glide that, you know, Bohab says, I wonder if some double delays would be nice on that kick sometimes. Yeah, absolutely. I think I had it. I just disabled the sand a little bit. I don't know if like 4MS is working here, but is this that? You know, maybe not. It wasn't turned on. Oh, maybe yes. Hold on. Is it this one? I think so. Oh, this is the topographic, which is also good. This is the Erica synth, okay? Let's turn these guys off. Just I'm gonna do some delays on it, okay? Because this is the Erica's not right. We do have this on Rampage. It's just not, it's too close, the kick, to do that. But let's try. I could do like literally another round of this and just play some other. Let me open this. Okay. So I'm going. Do I keep the drums going? No. We know how that works. Let me mute that. But then we're going to redo it. So we have the ADSR working on the Braams. Now what I kind of would like to have is I would not rather open entirely with the amp ADSR. I would actually want to open with the filter ADSR. So it can play like this, for sure. It can play like that. It is just 4 saws of different entities. And I kind of knew that saws and macro and ONA would kind of play differently. So sometimes you do octaves. Very high octaves or hear out what Ona's doing now. That is really, really nice for kind of brassy sounds. Right? So we can do so many things. Like we can put an LFO, like a very simple one, and have it trigger right when we gate this. We just go reset. I think on gate that would be fine. We send the output to level of this, and we use it on like a inverted sawtooth. See if this works. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. I thought it would, but it doesn't. Oh, because that's just reset. Is it? It should be. It should work though. Is it? No. Why? Oh, yes. Ooh, I got an idea. It is nice and big, right? Yeah, it's got that thing. So this is scaled and offsetting, but it's leveling it down, just maybe because of the gate. What if I use the other LFO? I would actually also use a wavetable LFO here. Let me try that. I haven't used Mix 4, so I don't know what's going to go on here. Let me go. We reset on retrigger. We send the wavetable to pan. Okay, that's more like it. So let's ditch this guy. So can we do this? Right? I want to do this. I want to take another LFO. Normal one, and I'm gonna patch it to the clock itself. It's probably is it gonna clock it faster and slower? Maybe. improvisation. I'm gonna do, it doesn't do that. But what if I do FM then? Okay. It's not really doing what I wanted though. That's okay. I'm gonna just use one. Okay. So back to the filter itself. I kind of like this. Let's try and open the attack. Right. So what's happening is that this is already kind of open, but drive it. Okay. Sounds nice, but I think we've got there's other stuff that does drive. Maybe just the overdrive itself. We want to try and overdrive it after. No, you know what? I would actually go boomstick, or hold on. I wanted to try these. Steiner. Let's try this. So we put another filter here. Reason being, I want to take one output here, send it to the bandpass input after the filter itself, or you know what, maybe after the mixer itself. So just the left channel, that'd be cool. Okay, and then we put it back into 3 and we drive its envelope from the same envelope. Honestly, I have no idea what it's gonna do, but I can kind of guess it. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So let's just verify where we are right here. Did I close it too much? Yes. Okay, let's start giving it a little bit of movement. So let me do this LFO here. Let's go out to the distortion. Let's scale it down a lot. Let's not go here, like a lot less. Very slow, kind of like a sine is okay. And let's see where. Let me try and speed it up so we know what it's gonna do. It's also fine when it's fast, but this is gonna add a little bit of movement. Right, okay. Is this guy? No. like with your control surface, having one that is de-pitching is kind of really cool. I'm gonna say that. Now, what if I send the mix of these two? Is this the mix? This is the mix input. Okay, what if I send the output of these to the sync? Okay, it's not really doing what I want, but I want to try and do this. I still want to gate it from the out here, so when I play it, it's gonna reset, and I want it to be kind of slow and going down this time, and the V-oct is gonna go to the actual pitch. The output's gonna go to the pitch of oh, now let's try that. You hear how it's pitching? Maybe this is too much, but try just one. Okay, so this is going up. I want it to go down. Okay, way less. Way less. This is maybe too much. Let's try this. A little bit would be nice though. Oh, I kind of got like a ninth. Doing some panning on the mixer might add some good movement. Right, let's do that. Let's also add, let's keep another LFO. I'm still gonna do that and go out to the pans here. Could even be, let's not do it maybe on Ona, we keep it centered, but maybe on, oh, well, let's do it on Ona because it's kind of like the easier. Nice, it was a great idea. Let's pan it down a little bit. These are, you know what I like about this? That they are Braams to some degree without being super distorted yet, but they are very synth oriented, so it's kind of like a different take without having real brass, you know? Because if it really sounded like I had samples of brass and it would be like, oh yes, this sounds like exactly like in the movies, that's not the voice of our modular synth. I think this is really like a lot more appropriate. And again, it's got a very slow attack, so if we do, that's also good. And it's changing that, I like that. We're in arcade now, yeah, exactly. Okay, so I like this, but I want to put a macro, like we need some percussive component to it. So the problem is that we've run out of mixer sound. I knew that. Why mix 4 when you can have mix 8? Do we have mix 8? We don't have mix 8. I was lying to you. It is not like that. It be not like that. But let me see. So it's 4 sounds. I don't want to sacrifice one, but I want the component here. I'm gonna put another mixer afterwards. It's gotta be that. I'm gonna do this just for sound design purposes. But we got no. Okay, we can mix it at VCA level. That's the idea. Number 4 that we have here. Imagine we don't have as much as you think we do in software, which is infinite. We do this, and we do this channel here. I want this macro oscillator to go. Maybe I'm gonna refilter it, but I'm gonna use probably a Salon again, and I'm gonna use distortion. I'm gonna take grunge. No, maybe overdrive. So we're sending the output of macro oscillator into input. Here, I should actually do it like this, these 3. We're taking the output of the Salon key into the distortion, the overdrive, and we're sending the output for now to, actually, we need another envelope, I'm thinking, for sure. Do we need another envelope, or can we do an LPG? Could do LPG. But let's try this. So I go trigger with gate and V-oct with this. And let me just mute pretty much these folks here. And the output has to go on another channel. There's no escape. Let's do 6. Okay, see if that works. Do we have an input here? No, because I didn't do it. Right, we got that. You like the high sizzle, right? That's gonna give it a lot of atmosphere, and then the reverb I have is very dark, so you can pitch it a lot of high frequencies. That's why I like to have very dark reverbs. They cut out a lot of that. And yeah. Now, I don't know which model I'm gonna use. So an envelope would actually help here. See, we got so much going on. Okay. I don't need a lot of distortion. Okay, I'm gonna switch modes, percussive modes. You know what? This could be good. Let's try and mix it. I like that. That's kind of loud. Silent key for some reason, but it's not cooperating with me. Okay, we're not using the ADSR, and I don't think we need, because it's just got percussive. Man, I love this oscillator. Isn't it good? It's just unbelievable. So not a lot of reverb, but I'm gonna send these here. I like these more. I wasn't expecting these more. Like a variable, kind of like a frequency thing. We could do an LFO here, not on the envelope itself. I mean, yes, on the envelope itself. Let's do another LFO kind of thing. Let's duplicate this, put it right here so that I know. We go out to this and kind of like very slow. Oh, no, wait. We do a noise as well. And we do a mixer or a CV mix, whatever. Is this gonna be a mix? No, this guy probably is gonna work anyway. We take some pink, we add it to our out, we take the mix here. Let's see. That it's also getting mixed here. You can change the internal log if you want. Was it on the noise? That's a good tip. Thanks. This could see where we are. Pulse. Right, you meant right click in the left click menu, you can change the internal log. You mean here? Ooh, I mean, maybe you didn't mean this, but this is really good. I didn't know there was a pulse with right. Any longer. I want to put like a sequencer. So we're gonna clock it. I'm probably gonna take this anyway, or actually I'm gonna take these notes. Okay, hold on. Professional at work, right here. I'm gonna take this module. We're gonna clock this guy, and we're gonna do just let me just initialize this. And let me just do one node out of measures 1. No, let's do 8 measures, 4/4, so that we've got tons of like space, right? On macro. Sorry. Oh. You know what I never do here? I never right click these folks. Unbelievable. Dude, look at this. So basically what I forget to do is right clicking on modules, because some of them there's right here, right? That's the LPG response decay. Beautiful. I'm gonna do this. Hold on. So let me Let's do who's 6. Right. Let me do some. Who's yellow? Topographic. All right, this is good. I'm gonna probably take. No. Let's do the clock thing first. Let's clock this to our clock. Number 1 is fine. And let's take a reset as well. I think it's gonna work. I'm thinking it's gonna work. Then we output CV to who? We should do just like a mix thing. No, like a split thing, like a malt thing. Malt. So I'm gonna take the CV. Actually, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take CV here and gate here, and I'm gonna send this to out, then to the output of this one. So this one, and then this one, and then wow, we got tons of CVs to send, and then the gates, which is this guy here and this guy here. Is he gonna play? You think it's gonna work? It did. It did. So I still like to play, to be honest with you. But if we just delete these malt, it's gonna just go. Ever so slightly distorted. I mean, we can even change the input. We can automate so much stuff that it's unbelievably good. So I'm trying to hear what. Oh, this is this. Okay, so I still need this to be a little bit like lower here. Let me try this without actually having an envelope, because this is bypassing this guy. I don't want to bypass that, so I need to mix it somehow. You know what? I'm gonna do it on 3 anyway. I'm gonna take the output of these, the output of these, the output of these, and instead of going on 4, I'm just gonna mult it on 3. Yeah. Thank you, Bohab. That's exactly why I need people here. Absolutely. Let's pan stuff even more. Who's panning this guy here? Let's pan these as well. Actually, let's pan these from these. Okay, so now we need some. I'm saving. I want to design some different things here. Already better. Kind of nice. This is okay. Let me frequency up. destroy us? Maybe. I need a clock multiplier now. Let's do this though. Okay, so we're running this. We're not running presets. We're doing something like I need to hear it first, obviously. And we're gonna take this into the trigger. We're gonna take this into level. We already know. The output of this is going to go just to the bandpass. E flat, D, C, right? And there's just ever so slightly a note. Love that. I don't think I actually need these now. We need a mixer just for the drums. Do we do that? That we're doing a mixer just for the drums, which is what we should have done long before. So this guy here, right, is going to channel 4. No, sorry, this guy is doing channel 5 and channel 5. It's gonna go here. This guy is gonna go 2-5. Bear with me, we got the drums. Right? This guy is gonna go here. It's doing it, it's working. Let's do our E flat, D, C. Everything a game developer needs, while like an assault team is scouting things, or just radars are scanning a sector. Something's waiting for action to happen. First time I'm doing it here, but I'm doing all the time with when I compose. The second kick is really kind of like my hat and snare. Okay, now we're gonna go E flat again. Reminds me of, without being like The Last of Us. This is a very Santa Olalla kind of thing. Gustavo, if you're watching this, he'll never watch me. It's too fake. I absolutely love what he does. This is like such a simple melody, reminding of like like very like frail things, but in kind of an aggressive thing. Maybe more a little bit more aggressive. That's it. Just 3 notes. Melancholic, kind of like there, right? So, gosh, what now? Let's do an input here. Let's do an output here. And let's just drop out the echo. Let's see where that goes. I don't see it coming up. Responsibility to keep playing and inventing things while patching this thing. Why did I cook myself so bad? I have to keep playing this because we're recording. This will become a track. Hard. So I want these output to go into the input, and I want this to go up here. Why is 3 not showing? Come on. I know I can do better than filter thing. Secondary kick. Okay, I don't know where we went. Man, I love to do this because I don't know where we're going, and I'm playing. I need to catch stuff with my mouse. It's absolutely insane. Okay, so I promise you from next week, the tension of going and run with the mouse, because I can hear it musically what I would like to do if I had it on my hands, like, you know, proper synthesizers, keyboards, like a Prophet, or like if I'm playing in a band. But when I'm doing this, which I absolutely love, it feels like I'm trying to conduct a band or like direct a band, but the band is just not listening to me. They listen if I turn the knobs. So we designed a Braams. It's, you know, I'm sure there's gonna be ways and people who will do like 100% brassy sound. I really like where this is going, also because we used the drive in the F-35, but we didn't use really distortion on it. Like, we didn't use a separate distortion module, which I usually found to be obvious. Okay, you will find many tutorials that will do as I will say as I do, which is like once you have a brass sound, you distort it. That's true if you have a very clean brass, symphonic brass type. But here, we're starting with some of the most amazing weird saws, I think. Like saws, ooh, from the macro oscillator. Ona's doing our like higher 3-voice thing. Beautiful. Absolutely mixed together, going into the F-35, ADSR for quad VCAs and for the filter. I didn't even end up using tangents. I'm gonna erase this. And our clock is still doing stuff that we wanted to play. In fact, we do have a note after 8 measures. It's still going to play my root here, I think. Right, yes. And then we added a macro oscillator too for just the bumping sound, which then became more of an attack of the brass rather than like a percussive tone. And it goes into the silent key, then overdriving it. And then we added a bunch of LFOs. I was even like, it's like a dream thing. I don't even remember the LFOs that we used for. Okay, one is pan that Bohab suggested. That was fine because it's kind of helping the higher voice from Ona to be kind of like floating in space. Then we added another pan for number 3. We also, what is this? Oh, we pitch Ona a little bit as well. And then we also drive the F-35 out, which is driving a lot. This is not even scaling that much. So the pitch on Ona is more of like a drift, right? It's like a voice drifting. But can I be honest with you? I don't even remember when I did the LFOs. I was so in the zone of the thing, which it's a testament to how beautiful sound design and composing from the ground level of a sound is. I don't. If you had told me there's 5 LFOs, I would be like, no, it's gonna be like 2. There's 5, and this one's doing what? It's getting mixed together, right? And then it's going out. It's like a 50% level plus. It's very scaled down, so it's got just a little bit of filter movement. Okay, now I know. I backtracked it. The envelopes are probably what really makes the movement of it, especially for the changes. You need kind of both VCA and VCF filtering. So it could be so much more. But a testament also to the mix bus we had last time. My tube, chow tape, this is really working. You hear how the kicks are together when we were pushing them? The song is really there. We pulled some lows that are off the hook. And then we duplicated our kick, and I did the secondary higher kick. So I didn't even use the VCA here. I'll keep it just for spacing. But then I did the overdrive, but it's just a mono thing. Then it's doing in the SFX, XFX, grunge. Same kind of vibe, but a little bit of different resonance and filter. I'm not even rescaling here, just a little bit of grunge. Rampage isn't being used. And man, if I can tell you one thing that I absolutely love for the placement into the song of this is just plateau. You know, using one plateau per drum component, man, this is just off. This is like, what kind of a modular would we have for having 2 plates into 2, you know, reverbs into all of that, 2 filters? It's insane. And I even use another Honoroi just for some echo and ambience. How much do I have in terms of space time? Well, it's kind of like reverse, so it was kind of weird the way he was composing that. And we did a mixer just for the drums, which was long overdue. I don't want to have you waste more time on the stream, but if I don't backtrack everything I've done, I kind of like don't really remember all we've done while I was here, because I wanted to keep the music interesting while I was fiddling with it. So my brain had no spare space, right? I had no room for thinking. It was just beautiful. I love this. I hope you had fun. I'm going to make this patch available as well. I'm going to kind of clean it up. What kind of title could we give this? You know? This is kind of like Echoes of War. Can we call these Echoes of War? Because it kind of reminds me of, you know, I don't know. Yeah. All right. Comment in the video later on if you have a better title. I'll call these Echoes of War. So where was I? Start this one. It's not, it's this. Echoes of War. Patch. Then I'm gonna clean it up. All right? So people, again, thank you very much for being here. This will be Modular Mondays. We took an idea and we just drifted away for real, because we had drift on the oscillators. So if you're interested in what I do in the memberships of YouTube or my Patreon, which is more, you know, just take a look at what I do. If you want to support me, it would mean the world to me, because life ain't easy the way we're doing it today. I know it isn't for anybody. So your support actually helps my streams continue and do this stuff. So I don't want to be bragging. I don't want to kind of like say subscribe, you know, ring the bell, whatever that is. But, you know, everything to make this channel go up will help me out tremendously. If I weren't telling you these, I'd be lying, because that is how it is. I want to do these more and more. I'm working on getting a real modular. I'm actually selling some of my gear to fund the modular. So I want to get a very small initial setup, and I want to kind of get the most of my sound out of probably 2 modules. And I want to buy like 80 probably HP, get an Alia from Noise Engineering, and then a Belgrade filter probably, and maybe a VCA or not even, okay? Just that going into my effects hardware, trying to exploit the most out of just maybe 2 modules, okay? MIDI in, MIDI out, CV, this SQ64 right there. So I want to do that. I put some gear for sale so that I will sell that and I will fund the new modular, which will be here. Thank you, Bohab, for the suggestions, for being here. Fun stream. You say, yes, it was really fun. Again, I was like, looking at the chat after a while, I kind of like stop out and have to check out polyphony some other time. Absolutely. I promise you we'll do polyphony because you see how I'm kind of doing single notes on stuff. And when I do polyphony on like modular things or synths, I kind of do sometimes, obviously on a Prophet 6 or things like that, I do obviously polyphony. But I kind of like to do detuned oscillators so that I have, one voice. I mean, more voices, but one note. But we'll check that out. Absolutely. We'll check that. We'll keep developing our drum system to maybe have some kind of a higher glitchy delayed things. Check out the other videos. There's going to be the unboxing soon. I'm going to leave you at whatever your Monday night has. This is always such a blast. Thank you if you were here and commented like Mark and Bohab did. Thank you if you were here and just stayed silent. I hope this was inspiring and gave you ideas for composing and making stuff. This will be on Bandcamp. Remember, all of these tracks are then put into the first live set. There's another way to support it if you want to get the Bandcamp. If you just want to download the tracks, they're completely free. You can do that. Thank you again. Thank you for exploring modular with me through a composer standpoint. It is an absolute blast. You know how this is going to end. The credits are being sent. Ethan's going to protect us while we're in cryosleep. Sleep well. We're going to see each other on next Monday, and we're going to wake up in a completely different galaxy, but the crew always stands, people. Thank you very much for being here. Let's move on. Ciao.